Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, we are learning more about the victims of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. We'll hear from the NTSB about what they are saying in its investigation. Plus, one organization in Laurel County is collaborating with surrounding police agencies to start a program to help kids.
Plus, we are dry through tomorrow, but rain chances look to return for the weekend. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts right now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Olivia Calfee. The investigation into what caused a ship to crash into a Baltimore bridge is just getting started, but the process will not go quickly. Natalie Brand has more details from Baltimore, Maryland.
New video shows the salvage operation underway as federal and state agencies use sonar equipment to survey the area where the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed. Divers recovered 2 bodies Wednesday, and 4 other construction workers are presumed dead.
Our hearts are with the families, and to all the families, we are so sorry for this tragedy.
Maryland State Police identified the men found as 35-year-old Alejandro Hernandez Fuentes, originally from Mexico, and 26-year-old Dorlean Castillo Cabrera from Guatemala. Among the missing, Minor Yacir Suazo Sandoval, a father of 2, described by his brother as kind and big-hearted.
When you were talking to him on Sunday, did you ever think that was going to be the last time you saw him?
No.
NTSB investigators are analyzing evidence removed from the cargo ship Dolly and speaking to crew members as they work to determine what led to its crash into the Key Bridge.
There is a lot of information we need to collect, a lot that we need to analyze, many interviews.
The NTSB says its investigation and final report could take 1 to 2 years. It's not yet clear how long it will take to reopen the Port of Baltimore to ship traffic and ultimately rebuild the bridge.
We have a very long road ahead of us.
State and federal leaders emphasize the urgency of getting one of the nation's busiest ports back in business.
It's such a major catastrophe for this area, and it's just surreal. It's just like I can't wrap my mind around the fact that that whole bridge is actually gone.
Community members say they're in mourning for the lives lost and the bridge itself, a landmark for the region. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Baltimore.
The state of Maryland issued a new report today estimating that the cleanup and debris recovery alone will cost $60 million. That figure does not include the cost of a new bridge. Former Senator and Vice Presidential candidate Joe Lieberman will be laid to rest tomorrow. The service is planned for a congregation in Lieberman's hometown of Stamford, Connecticut. The 82-year-old died yesterday afternoon following complications from a fall. Lieberman's political resume included election to his home state Senate in 1970. 18 years later, he became the first Orthodox Jew to get elected to the U.S. Senate. 3 of the 6 members of the Living Presidents Club are joining forces today. Former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton are joining current President Joe Biden at New York's Radio City Music Hall. It's the first major joint appearance of Obama and Clinton on behalf of Biden this campaign cycle. Obama has become increasingly involved in Biden's re-election campaign in recent weeks. A hearing on the 2020 Georgia election interference case got underway in Atlanta today. A judge is hearing arguments on former President Trump's efforts to have the case dismissed based on First Amendment protections. Trump's attorney said Trump's statements about the 2020 presidential election in Georgia are core political speech, so he can't be prosecuted. He said speech during campaigning or elections has always been found to be the zenith of protected speech. The GOP strategist who accused conservative leader Matt Schlapp of sexual assault has dropped his lawsuit. Carlton Huffman filed the lawsuit against Schlapp and his wife Mercedes early last year. Huffman claims Matt Schlapp groped him without his consent as Huffman drove him to an Atlanta hotel in October 2022. He was seeking more than $9 million in damages for reported sexual battery, defamation, and conspiracy to impugn the accuser. Christie says an option for him to run on a third-party candidacy is out of question. Christie said yesterday he will not run for president in 2024 as a third-party candidate. In a statement, the former New Jersey governor said while he appreciates the encouragement, it's not an avenue he wants to pursue. Christie added he cannot have his candidacy help Donald Trump retake the White House. The group No Labels has been working to launch a third-party moderate ticket. Yesterday marked 1 year since 6 people were killed following a shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee. 3 of those were children that died in the shooting. People took the time to remember and honor the lives of Evelyn Dykes, Hallie Scruggs, Will Kinney, Mike Hill, Catherine Kuntz, and Cynthia Peak. Last night, a candlelight vigil was held at a local church, and Dykes' family was there to share a few words from a poem she had written.
I believe I am God's creation, like the tree. I believe God's story. I believe we should love one another like the birds making a nest.
Evelyn's family in Missouri is working to have a section of a new library named in her honor.
We are tracking some more dry and sunny weather as we go into your Thursday evening. A live look from Laurel County from the London Corbin Airport. That current temperature is sitting at 57 degrees as we see plenty of sunshine back in the distance. Up on first alert pinpoint Doppler, all thanks to high pressure. We are tracking some more dry weather as we go into this evening, also tonight. And notice as we zoom out, we are tracking this high pressure system parked over Kentucky at this hour, and that will bring some more dry weather as we go into your Good Friday as well. Those current readings in the upper 50s to lower 60s in some areas, up to 60 for Manchester, 56 in Jackson, 59 for Harlan, also over in Jonesville, Virginia at this hour. But some more cool weather is on tap to wake up on Friday. Lows in the middle to upper 30s, possibly a few areas of patchy frost to wake up and walk out the door, but we see a warm up by Friday, also into Easter weekend, also tracking some more rain chances for this weekend as well. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Laurel County Police have partnered with a business in the area to promote a program helping kids. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us about the program.
The planning began at a martial arts studio.
You know, there's not a lot of stuff the youth can do if they have any issues or they get in any kind of trouble. It's juvie, or there's not really a lot of prevention plans there.
Byerly and others became interested in a national program called Police Activities League. The program gives kids the opportunity to refocus themselves, and Byerly finds their studio to be a good place for that.
You know, martial arts, it teaches a lot of discipline, a lot of focus. It helps, later on in life, gives you some key values to life.
Surrounding police agencies have partnered with London Martial Arts.
We have a lot of police officers that train in here too, so as they're training, they're going to be interacting with the police officers.
The program can give kids a more positive look at law enforcement.
We see people on their worst days, and a lot of times kids are involved in seeing that, or something that they've witnessed, or and it may be something that they've gotten in trouble with, and they're experiencing us in that manner. And we really want to reinforce that, we're here for them.
Daugherty says they want to make sure they are doing their part in helping kids. In Laurel County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Daugherty also says people can get involved with the program through contacting London Martial Arts. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the SAT test has been around for almost 100 years, but there's a significant change coming this year. What you need to know to prepare.
Plus, we are tracking some wet weather for the weekend and possibly some storms by next week. Your forecast coming up.